Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe. Now we know. Now we know. After all of the months of speculation and this is what we think it is, this is not what we think it is. Now we know. Lamar Jackson has asked for a trade. He didn't just ask for a trade away from from Baltimore. He's asked for a trade from Baltimore 25 days ago, according to Lamar. And it doesn't it doesn't mean that we have to try to extrapolate anything from the tweets. We know exactly what he said, right? We know exactly what he said. We knew how he said it. We knew why he said it. We don't have to guess. And I want to read to you exactly what he said because I don't want there to be any misconceptions about what it is that I'm saying. He says, in regards to my future plans, as of March 2nd, I requested a trade from the Ravens organization from which the Ravens has not been interested in meeting my value. Any and everyone that has met me or been around me knows I love the game of football and my dream is to help a team win the Super Bowl. You were all great, but I had to make a business decision that was best for my family and I. No matter how far I go or where my career takes me, I'll continue to be close to my fans of Baltimore Flock Nation and the entire state of Maryland. You'll see me again. Trust. Let's stay connected. Subscribe to my fan page. So, by the way, we should all go out and subscribe to the Fans Trust 8 fan page because if you ride with Lamar Jackson, then you should show him, right? You should show him that same love by following what he's got going on. So you can hear the stuff directly from him and from the people that he decides that he wants to empower. Now, let's get back to the realness of it. He was real plain. I wanted to be here in Baltimore, but the Ravens don't want to pay me what I'm worth. So I said, if you're not going to pay me what I'm worth, then trade me. I'll take a trade. I don't like the offense you have me in. Outside of the tight end, who I believe I could probably duplicate in the aggregate. I could get another person to do what he does. I don't particularly like the weapons that you put around me. Y'all have been running me like I'm a single wing quarterback when clearly I come from a pro style offense. I've talked to people about what the difference between college and the pros was for me as a quarterback, which wasn't reading or the plays. It was simply the verbiage going from no huddle where everybody looks and gets to play together to now, well, I'm the only person getting to play, and now I have to spit it back to everyone verbatim so that I don't mess anything up. He talked about that already. That was the only issue. So for him to have existed for 5 years in an offense that he doesn't believe fits his skill set, only to thrive and then be told by the organization, hey, we don't believe that you are what you say you are. We don't believe that you are to the caliber of the contract that you're asking for. See, now this clears up a lot for me, right? Number one, can't be sitting back here talking about, oh, well, Lamar is holding up the Ravens. He's not holding up the Ravens. he actually did the Ravens a favor. Yo, March 2nd, I asked for a trade. You need to get me out of here and hit the reset button on your offense. You already have the running backs and the tight end in place to run the offense that you want to run, that you've been wanting to run with me. And now you can go out there and draft a guy who can run that offense. There are a ton of guys who can run, who can run the offense that they want to run. A run heavy ball control offense. There are a lot of guys out there that can do that. There are a lot of guys. They're not Lamar Jackson, right? I saw some idiot. It wasn't some idiot. I shouldn't even say that. I'm sorry. I saw CBS Sports post. I saw CBS Sports post that what was it? Because I want to, excuse me. I saw the NFL on CBS post, which for anybody that's asking has 1 million followers. They're following 801 people, but they have 1 million followers. And CBS Sports, the NFL on CBS, posted Pro Bowl selections over the last 3 seasons. Lamar Jackson won, Tyler Huntley won. That's what they posted with a straight face. There was no laughing emoji. There was no keying emoji. There was none of that. There was no, oh, well, this is nuance, nothing. They wanted it to be known. Whoever's in their social media department, and by the way, whoever's in their social media department, they're going to have a rough day. They wanted engagement on social media. They got it. They got it. Joe Budden style. Shout out to Flip. Shout out to Joe Budden. Queens Flip, if you don't know. Joe Budden, if you don't know, check out the Joe Budden podcast. I'm not being paid, as they always say. I'm not being paid. I like the podcast. If you think they're having a hard day, if they think they wanted a hard day, they're going to have a really hard day, because that's so insensitive and it's so left field, right? Les Bowen, who is a someone who covered the Eagles for many years, 80,000 followers on Twitter, says, maybe a coincidence, I doubt it, but Lamar Jackson tweeting news of his trade request at the moment John Harbaugh sits down in front of the dozens of cameras and microphones at the NFL meeting. I picture Harbaugh sitting there thinking, thanks, pal. Interesting dynamic to track. There is no interesting dynamic to track. Lamar Jackson does not want to play for the Baltimore Ravens. And to me, I believe the play is, I'm not reporting. I will report right up at that time where it's time for me to get vested for the year. So however many games I have to sit out until it's time to report, that's what I'm going to do. And you know what? That's a move that so many people have done in the past. That's a move that so many has done in the past. Watch they find a way to criticize it. Watch they find a way to criticize it. What does Lamar Jackson owe John Harbaugh? I know what John Harbaugh owes Lamar Jackson. He owes Lamar Jackson his job. Lamar Jackson saved John Harbaugh's job. You don't believe me? You don't think I'm telling the truth? Go look it up. Go look at the hot seat that John Harbaugh was on before Lamar Jackson took over. Go look at the hot seat that John Harbaugh was on before Lamar Jackson took over, and tell me that John Harbaugh's job wasn't on the line. Tell me that if they had finished that year out of the playoffs, that he's not out of there. Now, because of Lamar Jackson and what he was able to do, They had 4 more seasons of productivity, 4 more seasons of making the playoffs, 4 more seasons of having a shot at the ring, 4 more seasons where John Harbaugh has been able to get that money. And yet, when it's time for Lamar Jackson to get that money, crickets. Crickets. Nah, we ain't got it. Nah, we don't want to spend it like that's not what the Ravens do. That's not how the Ravens gets down. Well, okay, cool. Trade me. So the Ravens had already 25 days, plenty of time to vet out options. In those 25 days, were those quarterbacks who went to other places on big deals, were they in place already? No. Baltimore let the market dry up. Baltimore made it difficult. Baltimore did. The Ravens played their hand too close to the vest. This isn't a Lamar Jackson issue now. This is a Ravens issue. The man said he wants out. Why are you still holding on to him? You think he's going to cave? You think he's going to flatline? People are already ridiculing him and mocking him now. If you didn't think he was resolved before, what do you think he's going to be now? He's going to come back in. I'm going to sit back, wait these first 7 or 8 games, whatever it is now because of the extra game. And I'm going to report when I need to report, collect my checks, and go on about my business. It's not like Baltimore can go, oh, well, we'll just play Tyler Huntley until he comes back and then bench Tyler Huntley whenever he decides he wants to give up. This means that if they hold on to Lamar Jackson and he doesn't report, he's most likely not going to play all year. Does that mean that his value drops? No. He's going to report. They're not going to put him out there if they're trying to make a trade. You can't risk him getting hurt if you want to get some value for him. So now you're not going to put him out there, right? He's going to collect whatever monies he's owed. Next year, if you do the same thing, he's going to do the same thing. Meanwhile, you could trade him before the draft, collect some draft assets, move on for him, thank him for his services for the first 5 seasons. Either move on with Tyler Huntley and say we're going to give Tyler Huntley the chance to be the starting quarterback here in Baltimore, which I don't think is necessarily an awful decision. We're going to give him a chance to earn this spot, but we're going to draft somebody to come in as well. And then galvanize the defense like you clearly always want to do, Baltimore. Continue to spend all that money over there on the defensive side. Continue to spend all that money on the offensive line. Continue to do that. You don't want to spend money on the quarterback. You don't want to spend money on elite level wide receivers. A wide receiver number 1. You've got your tight end out there masquerading as wide receiver number 1. You've got your backup tight end out there being a legitimate number 1 tight end option. So, like, what are we talking about here? But now we don't have to guess. We don't have to speculate. Lamar Jackson wanted out. He told them on the second, and if he didn't tell them on the second, guess what? Prove it. Don't tell us, Jim Harbaugh was surprised when he went to an interview, knowing that Lamar Jackson asked for a trade 25 days ago. You should be ready to talk about that. Hey, just in case anybody got word that Lamar asked for this trade on the 2nd, let's make sure that we have some stock answers ready. And by the way, why do you need stock answers ready? Why do you have to be prepared to answer the question? Hey, listen, people who are asking, Lamar asked for a trade. We haven't been able to find a trade for him yet. We're working. We'd really like him to still be with us. But if he's not going to be with us, we want to get the best price possible for him. People would have went, okay, cool. But now I don't have to hear all of you yahoos and you knuckleheads and you idiots continue to sit here and tell us how awful Lamar Jackson is, how bad Lamar Jackson has handled this. Lamar Jackson is just sitting back. He's not handling anything. This has already been done. He gave grace to Baltimore. He gave them grace. Hey, listen, I want to trade. Y'all got plenty of time before the draft to get it done. His trade request goes back before free agency started. So if he was asking for a trade before free agency started and you didn't trade him, if he's asking for a trade before the draft and you don't trade him, how is this Lamar Jackson's fault? How is any of this on Lamar Jackson? You guys could have had this done forever ago. When y'all signed, when Buffalo signed Josh Allen to that extension in year 3, you should have been on that same thought process for Lamar. You let him see a $250 million contract get paid to a guy. You let him see these old quarterbacks get $50 million. You let him see Russell Wilson get traded for every pick in America and still get a damn near fully guaranteed contract. What do you think he was going to want? You thought he was going to be, oh, yes, master, I'm good. I don't need all that. I don't need all of that money. You could just give me that money that you gave some of them other people, but not like the best money, man. You don't give me the best money. Just give me enough. I just want to be comfortable. No, it's a business. He's a business. And so now we don't have to sit back and speculate. We know. And one thing we know for certain, it don't matter what you guys say. It don't matter what people out there try to say about Lamar Jackson. You should know this and know it well. We, right, the culture, we're riding with Lamar. If Lamar goes to Boston, we going to Boston. If Lamar goes to Las Vegas, we're going to Vegas. If Lamar goes to San Francisco, oh, good God, we're going to San Francisco. If Lamar goes to Washington, to the Jets, I don't know why the Jets don't pivot and just go ahead and grab him right now instead of spending all that money on that dude. If he goes to the Jets, if he goes to the Dolphins, he goes to it does not matter. Wherever he goes, we go. Wherever he goes, we go. Oh, you think I'm not still trying to take this dude with one of them early draft picks? Or you don't think I'm still waiting for y'all to devalue him so that I could pick him up with a 5th round and a 6th round pick in fantasy? Oh, you absolutely believe you can believe it. I know you guys are going to go out there and all of a sudden go, yep, cool. Cool story, bro. If he plays 17 games, he's still one of the best in the league. Bottom line. And he's still young. And he's still learning. He's still getting better. Don't be mad at him. He just told y'all the truth. Here's the sad part about it, right? People just heard everything. We all just heard or we all just read everything directly from Lamar Jackson. And even with hearing everything directly from Lamar Jackson, people are going to act as if they didn't hear it directly from Lamar Jackson, as if we can speculate. There's no speculation. We know. We know what it is. And now that we know what it is, we know how to proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you join me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Till next time. Peace.